Good evening. Good morning for me. I'm here in Long Beach. You're probably sitting somewhere in a classroom or someone's house, starting your small group. And I want to just say welcome and glad you're a part of our Amazing Race small group curriculum. This week we're discussing our pursuit of pride. So this morning, as I'm standing here on the beach, I want you to go back to that time where you woke up this morning. You rolled out of bed. You got up, you drug your feet into the bathroom, you flipped on the light, and you looked at yourself in the mirror. And as you looked at yourself, your hair was a little messy, a little grease spot from the pillow. You had your little crusties there in the corner of your eye. You looked in the mirror, and maybe you were like me. You woke up and you're just like, ugh. Your breath, you could smell it yourself. And that's bad when you can smell your own breath. That's gross. But you smelt your own breath. You just looked at yourself and you're like, I'm a mess. So what do? When you realize that you're a mess, what do? You hop in the shower, you clean up, you comb your hair, you get out, you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, not too bad. You kind of stand sideways, suck in a little bit, see how the love handles are checking out. You look at yourself and you think, not too bad, not too bad. We're here in Long Beach, and the beach is one of those places where we come and we look at ourselves and then we look at other people and we have that tendency to go, you know what? I'm not too bad, not too bad. We compare ourselves with all the people that we see here on the beach, and one of the things that we have to understand is that pursuit of improving ourselves, of making ourselves better, sometimes boils down to a pride issue. Have you ever stopped and thought about it for just a minute, like why we work so hard to change our physical appearance? Why is it that we spend hundreds of dollars making sure our hair looks just right, or all kinds of money on makeup, or we spend that $50 a month going to the gym that we only go maybe once every blue moon? Have you ever stopped and thought about why is it that we so desperately want to pursue changing our physical appearance? In a moment, I want you to hit pause here in just a moment on your DVD. And I want you to open up with those first few discussion questions. And I know some of you may be thinking right now, you're thinking, hey Colson, look, I don't really care what I look like. That's not my thing. I don't really care. I'm not pursuing changing my physical appearance. But maybe you're like this. Maybe you don't care about your physical appearance, but maybe you care more about what other people think about you. So what you do is you buy the nicest clothes, or you have to get the nicest things, so because you're so concerned with what other people are thinking about you. That sometimes boils down to a pride issue. So at this moment, will you hit pause and openly discuss with your group why you pursue those things, why that's such an issue? Go ahead and hit pause now. I hope that your discussions were open and completely honest. And hopefully that there was something you noticed when you started discussing why you so desire to change your appearance. And if you were like me, one of the things that you noticed when you really thought through that is that you notice that you're always comparing yourself, especially here on the beach. I can walk down the beach just a little bit of ways and go, wow, that dude is ripped. He's got 12 abs and no love handles. That dude is legit. I just don't really compare. I kind of lose. But then you can also walk down the beach just a little bit further down, and then you can see a guy that can't even see his toes, and you think, you know what? I win. We do the same thing with even our possessions. I can take my car and say, you know what? Compared to that nice new E-Class Mercedes, I'm a loser. But then I can compare it to that 1987 Toyota Corolla that's puffing white smoke out the back. Guess what? I win. We're always working to compare ourselves, and that comparison is what drives and pushes us to change what we don't like about ourselves. See, the thing is this, that continual comparison is really just pride swelling up in you. See, here's the thing. I want to read this to you. It says this: pride is the result of comparing ourselves with others and basing our identity and worth on our possessions, on our knowledge, on our appearance and performance. And ultimately, the thing that pride really does ultimately causes us to depend on ourselves and not on Christ. See, instead of finding our identity in Christ, we find it in the things that we have, in our own abilities. We find it in comparisons with each other. Know this, the more proud you are, the less you know God. But the more you know God, the more humble you are. Right before we jump into our growth group discussion, I want you to think about those comparisons, because it's important. What you think about yourself and what you think about God ultimately affects your relationship with Him. And here's the thing, you've got to continually understand who you are and who God is. You've got to stop comparing yourself, get rid of that pride, and trust and completely in Him. Take some time now and go over your discussion with the rest of the group. You owe it to yourself to be honest, and you owe it to God to be honest. Take this time and really use it to take a reflection and look at yourself on the inside. Don't leave this group this evening not changed.